Hey everybody, Austin here again with a Let's Play walkthrough. This time, as you can see, it is going to be the Karate Kid for the NES. This is a game that I didn't really play much as a kid. I remember going over to friends' homes and maybe just experiencing it that way for a couple of minutes here and there. But it's not one I really ever dived into up until a couple of nights ago. I decided to fire it up and actually put some time into it, and man, was this a frustrating experience. If you don't know what you're doing in this game, you're gonna get bounced around like a pinball or a ping pong ball or whatever gets bounced around a lot in whatever. So but I did learn it. I did figure out some good tricks, and so what we're gonna do here is actually go through the whole game from start to finish. It's gonna take all of 15 minutes. It's an extremely short game with just 4 levels. One of them might not even be considered a level, but I do have some tricks up my sleeve to show you, and I'm gonna talk about them as we go through the game. And if you're trying to beat this game for the first time, I recommend taking these tips and using them and just playing exactly as I tell you to play. If you do that, you should be able to get through this game without too much of an issue. Now, if you're trying to learn this blind, oh my god, is it frustrating. It was extremely frustrating, but I will say, once you actually know what you're doing, it is kind of fun, but it was a really frustrating learning process. So, but with that, let's go ahead and just hit the start button and jump right into the game. So you do have multiple modes, actually. You've got 1-player mode, 2-player mode. This is like alternating, you know, like Super Mario Brothers. You know, player 1 plays, then dies, and then player 2 plays and dies, and it just alternates like that. One-on-one is interesting. It's like a one-on-one fighting mode. Well, maybe it's not that interesting, because this game doesn't exactly have a very extensive moveset. But, you know, a little bit of extra replay value if you have some friends around. So let's go ahead and hit start on 1-player mode, and we'll go ahead and jump right into it. So the first level is actually the karate tournament, and all I'm going to do here is press forward and B and just time my attacks properly. Now there is more. I can just do standing B, which is going to use my special crane kick, but I actually want to save my crane kicks for later on in the game, and I'll explain that on the next level. Now, if you just time your forward kick just right, enemies will sort of just like walk right into it. And all of these guys are pretty much the same as far as I can tell. They're just really dumb. If they do get super aggressive on you, like if you miss an attack and you get cornered, then just mash B regularly to use your special crane kick. You'll notice that it says C times 4 on the top right hand portion of the screen. So that is your special crane kick. So again, you just do that by just literally just like pressing B by itself like that, and you'll notice that, you know, my crane kick's just depleted by 2. So my first tip here is to primarily just use your forward kick for most of the game, and 2, grind out in the very beginning of this stage. What I'm going to do is grind out to my first extra life, and the first extra life is at 20,000 points, and so these guys give me about 200 a pop. Now, one thing that's interesting about this game is that if you kick or punch enemies a certain amount of times in a row, the amount of times varies per level, you'll make these icons appear. So the C will appear if you just kick a bunch of enemies, and the C again gives you your crane kick, which you do by just letting go of the directional pad and just pressing B. Now, if you do crane kicks against enemies, I think it basically just cancels out that count, and so you won't make any crane kick icons appear when you actually use your crane kick. The D in the top right stands for drum punch, and it's not as useful as the crane kick, but we're going to play some bonus stages over the course of this game, which will, as we succeed at them, will give us crane kicks and drum punches. And I'm going to save the drum punches for the final level in the game, which will then allow me to save my crane kicks for the final boss in the game. So this one's a little bit difficult to explain on the fly, just because it's fast and it's short, and it's going to be a little more difficult for me to like do edits and things like that, like I normally do with these Let's Plays, focusing and highlighting on specific mechanics. But you can sort of just watch what I do, kind of like some of my classic Let's Plays. But yeah, so we just got ourselves an extra life, and I'm going to actually grind out to 20 crane kicks. It's probably unnecessary, but if you're just learning this game for the first time, you can grind out all day long. You can grind out to 99 if you want. There is no time limit, and every 20,000 points is an extra life. So The reason I'm trying to drive that point home is you get 0 continues in this game. So if you're wanting to beat this game relatively easily, spend some time on the first stage, grind out on enemies, and get your crane kicks up. If you jump into some of these black boxes, these black voids, you will play some bonus stages. This first one here is Swinging Hammer. Swinging Hammer is by far the most difficult. You have to time your attack just right, and I didn't time it right. You have to dodge at least, I think, 3 hammers on this one to get some points. But yeah, you have 3 different bonus games. You got the Swinging Hammers, you got the Chopstick Fly Catch, and then you've also got the Ice Break, Ice Block Break. Now, another rule of thumb in this game is if enemies are below you, you're gonna pretty much have to use your crane kick to get past them. Now, there is a ducking sweep attack like this. It's not very good. Same with your ducking punch. Ducking punch is not particularly good. Even your regular punch isn't particularly good because enemies can duck and sweep you and then, you know, counter your attack. It's just not good. So basically the rule of thumb is just use kicks all day long. Jump kicks can be useful, but only when enemies are higher than you. So you have to be careful with that too. See, I'm doing some jump kicks here because they're a little bit higher than me. If they're on the same ground, sometimes you can do a jump kick, but it's not really worth it. Just do a regular standing kick. Again, forward and attack, otherwise you'll use your crane kick. So this one right here is interesting. You have to hit the A or B button when your meter is at the top, but you also have to watch for your breathing patterns. It actually says this in the manual. And I found that when Daniel's hands are close together and your meter's at the top, that's when you want to press the button and you'll be most likely to break the ice. Let's see if there is a bonus stage here. Nope, that one fooled me. There are a couple of rooms like that where there aren't actually bonus stages, or you have to be very, very particular about, you know, where you jump to. So this is the Chopstick Fly Catch, and this one for me is the easiest because it's kind of like low pressure. Whereas, you know, the Ice Block Challenge, you have to hit the button at just the right time. And then the Swinging Hammer, same way. The Swinging Hammer, the timing on that is extremely tight. So it can be extremely frustrating. But we got ourselves another extra life. So again, every 20,000 points is an extra life. Makes a little jingle when it happens. And it doesn't look like there is a bonus round here. No, there is. It's just, it was really high up. Another Swinging Hammer. All right, that's one. Now the thing with the Swinging Hammer is you have to turn around. So you start facing the right and you press B at the right time, and then you have to turn around manually and then do it again, and then the hammer gets faster and faster, and so the timing changes. So again, when enemies are below me, I like to do the crane kick. The crane kick just has insane priority, and so if you get caught in a corner or if there are enemies below you that are really hard to hit, you want to use the crane kick to, you know, to override them. Now, I actually found on my last practice run, there is a bonus stage right here, too. I didn't know that. I did like 10 runs of this game, not even knowing that the bonus stage was there. And there are probably a lot of other bonus stages I don't know about that are probably hidden. I couldn't really find like a great walkthrough, at least in text form. I didn't bother looking at long plays on this one. You know, telling me where the bonus stages are. The only 2 walkthroughs I found were just very basic, so, and that's fine. This is a fairly basic game, nothing crazy here. One of the nice things about this first level is you don't really have any endless pits that you can fall into, or if you do, it takes like a lot of skill. It's like you have to really try. But for levels 3 and 4, they're well, not level 4, but level 3, there are pits everywhere, and it's extremely frustrating. Level 3 also has a wind mechanic. You're constantly getting pushed back, as you guys will see in a couple of minutes. So we're pretty much at the boss fight, and again, there's no timer. So one of the other great things about picking up your icons there is that they also give you a couple of blocks of health back. So there's another C. My health is maxed out. You know, I can grind out like this all day if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I've already grinded out enough. So this is the boss fight. His name is Chozen. And I just smack him in the face with a kick. You could use some crane kicks on him if you want, pretty much guaranteed damage. But again, I like to save my crane kicks for the really hard parts of the game. The bosses are not hard parts. Well, the last boss is a little tricky if you don't know what to do. but I will, you know, explain that as we go, as we get there. So this level has all sorts of debris flying at you. It's got these birds that are being pushed back in the wind. Another swinging hammer bonus stage. There we go. Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Ooh, mistimed it. That's okay. This is the swinging hammer is really difficult. So if you get knocked off, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad because it's very, very difficult. So again, he's below me, so I'm going to use my crane kick. And for some of these objects, I'll try to just jump over them. Others, you know, I might try to kick them. You do get some extra points. That guy I picked up, he was actually a character from the movie, apparently. And you'll find multiple characters like that over the course of the game, like Mr. Miyagi and whatnot. A couple of other characters, and if you grab them in time before they disappear, they will actually give you all your health back. So, you know, enemies up above, you can try to using your crane kick again, or you can try jump kicking them, and I got completely cornered right there. Again, that's why your crane kick is really good. It's got a ton of priority, but I also don't want to use it too many times because I do want to save them for the final level and for some tough sections coming up here. Another bonus area right here. Chopsticks fly catch. This is my favorite one. It's the easiest one for me to do. And, you know, I didn't really specify, but when you perfect a bonus round, you'll get 5,000 points. And you'll also get some crane kicks and some drum punches. And so, yeah, we got 5K there. 5,000 points is a lot in this game because, you know, every 20,000 points is an extra life. So swinging hammer again. Now, it is entirely possible to jump over this, but you actually don't get credit for it. So when I first played this, I was like, oh, you just dodge it. You just jump over it. No, you have to hit B at just the right time. Jumping does not count. So probably the hardest parts on this level are the areas where there are enemies, you know, kind of falling down on top of you. And this is one of them right here. I'm going to actually try to grind out, get my health back here. So again, no timer. So, you know, feel free to just kick enemies and grab some icons, get some health back. There we go. Now, what I'm going to have to try to do is jump up, and I'll probably have to use a crane kick. Normally, just a couple enemies on the screen isn't that big of a deal, but now you have debris and birds, and they all knock you back pretty much equally, which is not fun. Just up here to the right, we're going to have some endless pits, or I guess technically water to fall into. And Daniel can't swim, so you die instantly if you fall into water. Another swinging hammer. Ooh, missed it. What do we get? Yeah, so 3 is 3,000 points, 1 drum punch, 1 crane kick. And I'm going to take the bottom route here and play it. I was going to say play it really safe, but, you know, I actually went a little too fast, jumped right into that enemy, and you just get bounced back like a pinball. Like I said, it's really bad, actually. Very, very frustrating. But I just got an extra life, so we actually just made up for that. And the cool thing about dying and going back to a checkpoint is you can play your bonus stages again. So if you're close to getting another extra life, you know, you're on your final life, you can complete the bonus stage, get some points, get that extra life, and then you're good to keep playing. And you get some crane kicks and some drum punches. And I have 28 drum punches. And so for this part, to avoid getting bounced back like a pinball, I'm going to try to use my crane kicks when available. Alright, swinging hammer again. Really likes... Ooh! That's going to be the story for a lot of people that play this game. The swinging hammer is a real pain of a level. Alright, see, like this guy's right here. If you try to kick him normally, a lot of times you'll miss, or you'll just get bounced off of him. And so, you know, use your crane kick to avoid that happening. See, he was down below, went ahead and used my crane kick, same with that guy. Now, this is the boss fight. Again, what you can do, you can just grind out on enemies to get your life back before you actually even fight the boss. Now, the game is smart enough to know that you're just sort of grinding out on enemies. So, enemies will start appearing from the left-hand side, too, to throw you off. See? There's one right there from the left. But I got my health back for the most part. Now, you can either fight the boss, or you can just go up and grab this girl, which you have to do anyway, even after you beat the boss, and you just skip the boss entirely if you do it early. So this is our final level in the game, and this is where they introduce the spear guys. Now, the spear guys are really hard to hit without using a special. So that's another reason why I really wanted to save my crane kicks and my drum punches for this level. Enemies are much more tanky on that stage as well. So again, watch for Daniel's breathing. And then boom, just like that. Nice. These ice block levels can be really tough to get all of them and get a perfect. But I find when your meter can go all the way to the right, that's when it's the easiest. But on some of these, the meter is, the life meter, or his breathing meter, or his power meter on those bonus stages is much smaller, and so it's harder to get a perfect. See, ice block break. Still got it. Interesting. That's good. Yeah, you really have to watch for his breathing patterns, you know. It's like, when his hands are together is when you want to do it. A lot of people think it's just the bar, but it's not just the bar. It's also, you know, the positioning of his hands, which is interesting. So it adds an extra layer to that bonus stage. And that was actually a good hit on that spear guy. I got just a nice little jump kick. So, because I grinded out for crane kicks earlier, it's like, I don't feel bad using them. I don't feel like I'm going to, you know, run out or anything like that. And that's kind of key for this level. And then I have lots of drum punches too. We're already pretty much almost at the end of the game, guys. This game goes really fast when you know what you're doing. So this is our last bonus level, and there's one ahead that I don't know about, which is entirely possible. You know, I just learned this game like 2 nights ago, literally, and I've gotten pretty good at it pretty fast because it is a short game. It's easy to go back and do another run and practice. We have 7 lives left. We died once. All right, another bonus level coming up right here. Now these ones are a little awkward. You have to jump towards the top of the doorway. I'm glad they're doing the chopstick fly catch, because again, this is the most consistent one for me. All the flies just fly in the exact same circular pattern, so you can just figure out where they are, and then just line your chopstick up with the circle that they're going around, and then just time it. The timing doesn't have to be perfect like on the you know, the hammer dodge, the hammer swing. So again, enemy below me, use my crane kick, and I'm gonna go ahead and just start using my drum punch because I've got a lot. Got 118,000 points. Now this game doesn't actually track your score after you've beaten the game. It's kind of weird. It's always weirded me out when games like have scores, but you beat the game and it doesn't tell you what your final score was. This is one of those games. So I like to take the top path here, and then we have to fall down. I don't think it's possible to jump to that other upper path. There's Mr. Miyagi. If we grab him in time, he disappears. But if we grab him in time, we get most of our health back. So now there's a thing right here I want to explain. You'll notice that these guys constantly spawn in. You need to make sure that you wait for them to fall, otherwise you're going to jump into them and then land in the water yourself. And the trick on this final boss right here is to sit to the left-hand side of the screen and then just use your crane kicks, just like this. And we just beat the game. So now the reason you want to do that is if you're fighting Chozen too close to that woman, she gets scared and she scurries off the platform and drowns. And then you die instantly. So I discovered that if you just go to the left-hand side of the screen and just use your crane kicks, she'll scurry back a little bit, but not far enough to actually go off. So, you know, you're nice and safe on the left-hand side. But that's it. We just beat Karate Kid in all of... This is like one of my shortest Let's Plays ever. But that is the Karate Kid, guys. You know, there are some other moves you can do in the game. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend punching. I don't recommend ducking and kicking. I don't recommend ducking and punching. Just do a forward kick. Again, hold forward and B to do a standard kick without using your crane kick. And then save your crane kicks for when you really, really need them. Like when enemies are below you, or when enemies are just like falling right on top of you, or the 3rd level of the Typhoon where you've just got everything coming at you. You'll have like 4 objects trying to slam into it slam into you at once. And the crane kick can just override all of those, which is great. The drum punch can be useful on the final level in particular with the spear guys. But for the most part, just do a regular standing kick and then use your crane kicks when you need them. And then again, like I said in the beginning, grind out for crane kicks to make your life a hell of a lot easier. So yeah, that's the Karate Kid. Like I said, it's kind of fun when you know what you're doing, but it's a really frustrating learning experience because you just get bounced all over the place. And you saw one of my deaths. I hit a guy and went like halfway across the screen into a pit. Like, the knockback in this game is really something. So you know, people complain about Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania knockback. They haven't played Karate Kid, apparently. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. I've got a lot of Let's Plays here and many, many more to come. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, be sure to post a comment down below and let me know. I like to know when people made it this far. If you've played this game as a kid or anything like that, or if you've played it as an adult, or if you've recently tried learning it like myself, or you're in the process of learning it, I want to know your experiences and let me know what you thought about it. Yeah, so that's gonna do it, guys. You know, I don't really have anything else to say, so I guess until the next one, take it easy.